Chapter 1. The King's Mistake. For Sherlock Holmes, there was only one woman in the world. He did not love her because he never loved women. But after their meeting, he never forgot her. Her name was Irene Adler. One night in March, I visited my old friend at his home in Baker Street. I was married by now, so I did not often see him. "Come in, Watson," he said. "Sit down. I'm happy to see you because I've got something to show you. What do you think of this?" It arrived in the last post. It was a letter with no date, name, or address. It said, "Tonight someone will visit you to talk about some very secret business. You have helped other important people, and you can, we hope, help us. Be in your room at 7:45 p.m. "The paper. What do you think about the paper?" asked Holmes. I tried to think like Holmes. "It's expensive, so this person is rich. It's strange paper." "Yes, it's not English. If you look at it in the light, you can see that it was made in Bohemia. And a German, I think, wrote the letter." "Ah, here comes our man now." We could hear the horses in the street. "Shall I leave, Holmes?" I asked. "No, no, I need your help." "This will be interesting," my friend answered. There was a knock at the door. "Come in," called Holmes. A tall, strong man came into the room. He was wearing expensive clothes and a mask over his face. "You can call me Count von Kramm. I come from Bohemia," he said. "My business is most important. Before I tell you about it, do you agree to keep it a secret?" "I do," we said together. "A very important person who belongs to a royal family has sent me to ask for your help," he went on. "I wear a mask because nobody must know who that person is. I must explain how important this business is. If you cannot help, there will be difficulty and trouble for one of the most important families in Europe, and perhaps a very big scandal. I am talking about the famous House of Ormstein, kings of Bohemia." "I know, Your Majesty," said Holmes. "Go on," said Holmes. He closed his eyes and listened. 5 years ago, I met a woman called Irene Adler. "Ah," said Holmes. "Irene Adler, born in 1850, singer, lives in London. A very beautiful woman, I hear." He looked at the king. "And now you want to get these letters back?" "That's right." "Did you marry her?" "No." "If she asks you for money and shows you the letters, you can say that you didn't write them."
"But, Mr. Holmes, she also has my photograph."
"You can say that you didn't give her a photograph."
"We were both in the photograph."
"Oh, dear. What does she plan to do with the photograph?"
"Soon I am going to marry Clotilde Lottmann von Saxe-Meiningen, daughter of the King of Scandinavia. You know, of course, that we are two of the most important royal families in Europe. You do not know Irene Adler. She was angry when I left her, and so she doesn't want me to marry another woman. I know that she will send this photograph to the Saxe-Meiningen family. And then there will be a terrible scandal. We must find the photograph before she sends it.
I am sure that we will find it, said Holmes. And the money? The king put a large, heavy bag on the table.
The money is not important.
And the young woman's address? Asked Holmes.
Bryony Lodge, Serpentine Avenue, St. John's Wood, London.
Good night, Your Majesty, said Holmes. I hope to have some good news for you soon. The king left, and Holmes turned to me. Chapter 2. A servant finds out. When I arrived the next day, Holmes was not there. So I waited in his room. At 4 o'clock the door opened, and a very strange servant came in. I've been outside Miss Irene Adler's house. For example, she has a good-looking man friend called Godfrey Norton, a lawyer who often visits her. But if he loves her, she won't show him the photograph. Most interesting, Holmes, I said. While I was there, Mr. Norton himself suddenly arrived. 2 minutes later, Miss Adler ran out of her house, jumped into another taxi, and called, "To the Church of St. Monica, quickly!" I couldn't miss this, Watson, so I jumped into a third taxi. When I arrived, I went into the church. Godfrey Norton looked round and saw me. Thank God! And so I helped Godfrey Norton to marry Irene Adler. Without questions? Of course, Holmes, if you think that it's important, I answered. Later, we'll go to Bryony Lodge. Irene Adler, or Irene Norton, will arrive home at 7 o'clock, and she will ask me to go into the house. You must wait outside near the sitting-room window, and when it opens, watch me inside. When I hold up my hand, throw this thing into the room and shout, "Fire!" I took the small thing out of his hand. Chapter 3. Fire. That evening Holmes again wore different clothes, and a large black hat. Outside the house there were a lot of people who were smoking, laughing, and talking. Holmes and I walked up and down in front of the house. "You see," said Holmes to me, "I think she doesn't want her new husband to see the photograph." One of the men in the street ran to open the door. Then another man pushed him. Irene Norton was in the middle of it, but Sherlock Holmes ran to help her. "Is the poor man hurt?" she called. "He's dead," cried some voices. "No, he's only hurt," cried others. "Bring him into the sitting-room," she said. Some people carried Holmes into the house. Then Holmes put up his hand, and I threw the smoke-stick into the room. Immediately the people in the street and in the house all began to shout "Fire!" I walked away, and 10 minutes later Holmes came to meet me. "Well done, Watson," he said. "Have you got the photograph?" I asked. "I know where it is." When people shout "Fire!", a woman runs to the most important thing in her house, her baby, her gold, or Mrs. Norton ran to find her photograph, which is in a cupboard in the sitting-room. And then we'll go. While Holmes was talking, we were walking home to Baker Street. When we arrived at my friend's house, a young man hurried past us and said, "Good night, Mr. Sherlock Holmes." "I've heard that voice before," said Holmes to me. Chapter 4. A Photograph. The next day we went to Irene Norton's house with the king. "They will never come back to this country." "What?" cried Holmes, his face white and angry.
"And what about the photograph?"
cried the king. We all hurried into the sitting-room. Inside was a photograph, not of Irene Adler and the king, but of the beautiful Irene alone. We all read it together. "My dear Mr. Sherlock Holmes, you did it very well. I knew about the famous Sherlock Holmes. I knew your address, and I knew that the king asked you to find the photograph. I wanted to find out if you really were Sherlock Holmes. Please tell the king that I shall not show the photograph to anybody. And the king can keep this photograph if he likes."
"What a woman!"
cried the king.
"What a woman!"
"A very, very clever woman," said Sherlock Holmes coldly. "I am sorry, Your Majesty, that this business has not finished well."
"No, no," said the king. "How can I thank you, dear Mr. Holmes?"
"I would like just one thing, Your Majesty."
"Tell me at once what it is," said the king.
"This photograph." The king looked at him in surprise. And Sherlock Holmes still has the photograph of the woman who was cleverer than he was.
Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel to see the latest videos. Thank you.